A very good afternoon to you. Thank you for staying with TV3. This is Midday Live coming to you from our studio here at Adesanwe in Accra. I am Martin Esiedu Date. Here are the big stories we have for you this afternoon. Religious leaders join other interested parties as anti-LGBTQ bill goes through its second reading in Parliament today. We'll be live on the ground for an update. Also in the bulletin, National Food Suppliers Association protest at the National Food Buffer Stock Company NAFCO headquarters for the second day running. In business, economist Professor Peter Quartey takes a swipe at government over persistent borrowing to finance cocoa purchases. On the international front, South Sudan's President Salva Kiir says the country's long-delayed election will be held next year as planned. Let's settle for the details now. Do be a part of the show. We'll be happy to hear what you make of the stories we have for you this afternoon. So, the members of the National Food Suppliers Association spent the night at the premises of the National Food Buffer Stock Company, NAFCO, to make their demands heard regarding payment of their more than 2-year-old arrears. The arrears are in relation to food supplies made to various schools. The suppliers, who had traveled from various regions to Accra, thronged the offices of NAFCO on Tuesday in an effort to address their and make sure that their demands are heard, but they were unsuccessful. So on your screens now are images from last night when they decided to sleep over at the headquarters of the National Food Supply Buffer Stock Company. So we'll be speaking shortly to George Quaining, but I mean, it looks as though these ladies and gentlemen are quite serious with their demand. George Quaining is a man following this story very closely. He's actually there at the moment. He's joined us live. George, good afternoon and thank you for your time. We know these people slept there last night, the suppliers. Are they still there as we speak?
Good afternoon, Martin. I'm going to you live from the office of the National Food Buffer Stock Company in Cantonment. And this day, 2 of the picketing by members of the National Food Suppliers Association. And actually, yesterday, they made me aware that they're going to spend the night here. But I thought it was just a lip service. But they did exactly that. And as you can see them, they came with their, cooking utensils. And they made me aware that yesterday, they fried yam and added it to their shito. And they couldn't even take their bath this morning. So I want to engage some of them to really confirm if truly it was what it was. Good afternoon. In Central, what kind of medal and pass on that? Then I'm with you. Then there's much by the same way, my say, in Chama Monk. If I say be a baby 1 month, it means 1 month. Yeah, Jenny say you bigger. Okay. Now, may have my Friday. No, Mamma, yes, how Monday, yes, you say me, you don't have it. I mean, 270 million. That's like 4 million. Yes. It's an internet to me that. I said, the scenes here are very emotional, and she is owed almost 40 billion, so that's 40 billion old Ghana cedis. And for them, creditors and people, friends that they even took money from to add up to their capital are pursuing them. So sleeping in the open is, cannot be compared to the torture and trauma these creditors, are taking them through. They are always on their neck. They can't even sleep in their houses. It's quite, a sad story if you ask me.
and they'll be here till government pays them that 270 million that they're expecting from government. Martin.
George Queening, thank you so much for that update from the head office of the Buffer Stock Company Limited here in Accra. And those traders are still there, we are told, like George just reported. But what's the response from government? Have we heard anything from government side? Maybe, George, you want to tell us that briefly before we take leave of you. Have they had any response from any of the authorities since yesterday when they went there?
Martin, when I came here yesterday, I called the PRO, J.K. Arthur, and I put this very, in front of him, and he made me aware that they are having a week training in Kumasi with the World Food Program. And so if this is anything to go by, I'm hoping that on Friday, maybe the CEO of the Buffer Stock Company will engage them, or even on Monday when they return from that very training.
All right. Thank you for that update as well, George Queening. Okay, so we are moving away from that story to some others still relating to the Ghanaian economy. The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, has admitted that the Domestic Debt Exchange Program, the DDEP, was a very difficult experience, but the country needed to bite the bullet in order